Okay, we're in the sweat box, as you can see. And if you can't, well, that's where we're in. And I'm with a real cool guy. He's a young guy, 20 years old, right?
21.
21, okay, still young. And Nick's here, Dudet, depending on if you're French or not, right? He's here helping us with the retreats. And the retreats are something that we do up here for detoxification and supporting rejuvenation by removing a lot of toxicity and learning how to sort of regain back your health by just changing your fuel source and rebuilding your gut wall bacteria. Learning a lot of just different simple protocols, and one of the protocols we share with people here, and you can learn on your own, is the skin cleaning and also the pore opening protocols. Let me just show you where we're at so you can see what's going on. We're at 158 degrees, so this is really hot in here. For me, it makes my eyes get swollen. And it is about, we're 4 minutes into here. So we start this at 100 on the right side, 100 minutes, and as it counts down, I can tell how many minutes I'm here. So we've only been here about 4 minutes. And I can start to feel the sweat already. You can see it on me. Whew. Hey, I got a better tan than you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. This guy's a different type of a person, just to let you know. He's a young cat, as we say. And he's really different than most 20-year-olds that I meet, just because he's got pretty well-rounded in the areas that we all need to know, as far as stretching, exercising, taking care of yourself, and just getting a better, world view on what's going on, and being able to be adventurous and try different things and come to the big island of Hawaii and sort of live in a naturalistic super environment that only certain types of individuals like to do, unless you're really wanting to immerse yourself in nature and immerse yourself in these places that Hawaii gives you. Then the city is going to go ahead and actually feel really good for you, and you're going to get everything you need in the city. But for some reason, what's your deal? Why are you here?
Yeah, well...
Big story, right?
Long story short, I grew up in Cancun, Mexico, and even though I was born in California, and I've been a long-time windsurfer, it's been a big passion of mine. And what brought me to Hawaii was a windsurfing competition in Maui, Hawaii. So I went to Maui. I was planning on staying 3 weeks, and I just stayed. So it was the best decision I could have ever made.
And where were you from before?
Well, I grew up in Cancun, Mexico.
Oh, the whole time? Before you came actually to Hawaii?
Actually, before I came to Hawaii, I had been living in the Bay Area 4 years.
Okay, so you're still from... Y él habla español perfecto, porque ese es el primero how do you say language?
Lenguaje.
Lenguaje. There you go. I just learned a new word. So he's, talking to my guy here that runs, his name's Pedro. He runs the whole farm here, and these guys are conversing back and forth, talking Spanish. So it's really nice to go ahead and have guys that Pedro can talk to here, because there's not too many people, even though everybody's got Spanish names here in Hawaii, there's not too many people here that speak Spanish. You think they all do, because if you come from Southern California, everybody speaks Spanish, especially if you look like it a little bit. So keep talking about your story.
Yeah, so basically my journey has been, throughout my childhood, I always really, looking back, 20/20 vision, I see that I've always been a truth seeker and always really had this strong intuition. So growing up in Mexico, it's a party town. So many of my friends started doing drugs and drinking alcohol, and I never actually got in that scene. I never felt compelled to do any of it. I've never been drunk in my life.
So he's been very sheltered, okay?
Yeah, just out of my own intuition,
Yeah, exactly. It's not because he was boundary, just because he sheltered himself from what he thought maybe wasn't the right field of energy, and or what he sees other people that actually do this all the time, what they turn into.
Yeah, and naturally I just always resonated towards having deep, long conversations with some of my parents' friends, and I really felt like I could have some meaning in those conversations, whereas the consciousness of teenage years and all these things. And most people in general, it's just very shallow conversations, and I always sought meaning. And basically, I had asthma my whole life, and when I was 18, I started to really question what I was putting in my body. And as soon as I did that, I learned about GMOs, I learned about acidifying foods, and just all these things that are wreaking havoc in our system.
Dead animal flesh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so are you and this is what I call myself. I don't call myself a vegan, a vegetarian, or anything else. I just have a diet that has no blood in it. I don't eat blood. So blood, of course, comes from an entity, a living organism. And so I try to go ahead and keep down any harm to any type of thing that actually has a 5 sense being, you know. So for me, what that's done is actually elevate my connection to nature massively.
Yeah.
And you know, this guy here, he can stretch pretty darn good. He's like a sort of like a yoga expert a little bit. And you know, because we're all, you know, only experts sometimes when someone else below you is watching you to say, man, how'd you do that? And then you watch someone else and you go, man, I know nothing. So, you know, just understanding how to take care of your body and really, you know, learn just techniques just in the world that's going to give to you. Most 20-year-old guys, they're lost in space. So they're not learning a lot of the different, you know, things I see you do. So what you've been playing around with, are you a vegetarian, or are you what you call vegan, or what you call, do you eat meat or anything else? What do you...
Yeah, actually the first thing I changed was I stopped eating meat, and I said I was just going to try it for a week, and that was when I started looking at all the ingredients of the packaged foods I was eating and learned about them all. And so after that I stopped eating dairy and all animal products.
But did you do it because of morality reasons, or you just did it because it's not good for me because I got asthma?
Out of health reasons, yeah. And then my asthma went away within a few months.
Okay.
And I remember running one time whereas normally I'd be wheezing and panting and not being able to breathe. I could take a full breath after doing a really strong sprint. And that was a transforming moment for me.
So no matter which way you start to, you know, change your world, you'll find out if you're wanting to, you know, not eat flesh because of moral reasons, well, then give it a try and see what happens. And if you want to stop eating flesh only because you find out that most flesh is really contaminated.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of weird brain chemicals hooked to it, so depression and anxiety and frustration, doubt, and all the things that come along with death are present in the meat when you eat it. So if you don't exercise, you most likely have a bundle full of this stuff inside you, and you probably are one of those people that really easy just to get, you know, lit up, a little fire, and their emotions are off the wall. So when's the last time you had a piece of meat, though? How long has it been?
It's been about 4 years.
Wow, okay. So remember, that's 16 years old or 17 years old. I was eating meat at his age right now, at 21 years old. I was eating about 2 pounds of meat a day because I was into bodybuilding and I thought it was good for me. I read in Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, I eat 2 pounds of meat a day, so I tried to eat 2 pounds of meat a day and at least maybe 2 cans of tuna fish and maybe 15 eggs a day. Why? It's because that's what they said. You know, I was more physically oriented back then, and I wanted to build my physical self, and you know, I changed my diet away from pork and these different things because I knew it wasn't good for me, because other people said, and they actually gave me realizations to say, if you eat that, then you're gonna not go ahead and put the muscles on and such and such. So a lot of the things that I ate, I didn't eat because I was sick, you know, different. So I ate because of sort of ego. You know, I wanted to you know, eat less sugar and have more protein and less fat as the diets back then were, so I can get bigger muscles and show off more. So whatever way that you need to, you know, sort of manipulate yourself to feel that change is in action right now. And if it's the need because you're sick, or it's the need because you want to look cool, or excuse me, or you want to, you know, stop eating because it's just not right, to be able to wake up in the morning and say, what am I going to kill today to stay alive? You know, whatever it is, yeah, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If you go on a non-flesh diet, I'm just telling you, this is 100% truth. And anybody you ask that has done this, forget about their body's aches and pains and all the things they go through while the parasites don't get fed flesh anymore and all that stuff. That's withdrawals. But in time, you will have a connection with your mind, with nature, better than you ever have. Connection with relationships, better than you ever have. Connections with yourself. Remember, an androgynous love is yourself. And that simply means that you have a positive and negative brain, okay, or a male and female side of your brain, no matter if you have a male body or a female body. And we all feel that we, you know, are in need of being more complete. And sometimes we try to get that from exterior relationships. And sometimes, you know, you get married, you have girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever the case may be, pets, animals, and or we want to, you know, as I've been writing up some different lectures to do on the big evolution of really what's our purpose here. We don't know until we start to bind our left and right hemispheres together, because if not, all we're getting is a mental schism of one side of the fence and really not seeing the whole picture.
Yeah.
So eating a non-flesh diet will help you massively with not even your connection with nature, remember, it's the connection with yourself. You'll see. I mean, did you notice any changes like that? Massive change, not just little
tinkles. Definitely massive change. Just really perceiving the world around me was completely different. I felt like this veil was lifted, you know, just in my perception of my connection with nature and really feeling that, and also connecting with my own inner knowing and intuition. You know, that's, I think, a huge part of this journey, you know, is to be able to connect to that part within us.
Totally. You know, remember, this guy's only 21. Okay, supposed to be getting drunk every night, maybe doing heroin, cocaine, ecstasy, MDMA, mushrooms, whatever. Okay, not just once in a while. Valium, Vicodin, Soma, all the pharmaceuticals. These are recreational to his age group. Okay, so for somebody not to get really, you know, sort of under the spell of these different layers, remember, it's not just pharmaceuticals. There's recreational drugs that are illegal. There's alcohol, which is legal. There's tobacco. Okay, there's all these different distractions. So in order for you to actually wake up a little bit, because that's what he's doing right now. He's playing around in fields that most people his age, they're not really interested in. Okay, remember, he came here, and a lot of your changes, as you can see, came when you stopped eating meat, right?
Oh, 100%. That was the first thing I did.
Okay, a lot of your changes, though, as far as your needs, your wants, your feelings of your emotions being more yours instead of just, I need to eat, and all the weird feelings that we get and get cravings when we do have a flesh diet like that. Did you notice like any of those?
Yeah, 100%. I feel that most people are running in this animalistic consciousness, you know, and then obviously eating the meat and the flesh will cause that. And then as soon as we eliminate that from putting that in our temple, then that whole shift takes place, because that your own consciousness is able to prevail rather than this influence that is day in, day out being entered, you know, into your whole system.
We've been in here now 16 minutes, and I'm getting worked in here. I got a river going down me. He's sweating pretty good too. In time, when he starts doing this, you can see down here, it's pretty dry. He's got a little drip going, but I got a river I can feel on mine going down. And unless I put water back inside me, I'm going to feel sick. I feel dehydrated. And the first thing that you feel dehydrated is you feel like you're going to faint. So, you know, you got to understand the protocols. Watch all the videos that we've done at Earther Academy on the sauna. It's not just, you know, learning just how to scrape your skin and open your pores and sweat. I mean, there's some, you know, so this is a tool. And this is probably one of the best detox tools that I can share with you, because you can do a lot of this yourself, and you're really, you know, wanting to urinate. That's what we're doing. We're urinating through our skin. Okay? If you came into the sauna right now and you had to go to the bathroom really bad, pee-pee, you'll find out after 45 minutes in here, even if you drank this much water, I'm almost out of water already, that you won't have to pee anymore. Why? It's because you did through your skin. This is one of the best ways for you to stay clean, is to urinate through your skin, and that's why exercise is so good for you. It's not only the muscle stimulation and the neural stimulation, but it's the detoxification technique that right now I'm just sweating up a storm, and so constantly I got to drink every 5 minutes. And you'll notice when I start to get dry, my throat gets dry, and so immediately I need to drink some more. Once you stop sweating in here, it's because you're dry. Remember that, and that's not good. It's not healthy. How many times have you done the far infrared sauna?
This one specifically?
Just anyone.
Anyone. It's been actually first time I did it was a few years ago.
How many have you done?
In Maui.
5 times, 20 times, 100 times?
Oh no, I've done it at least 50 times.
Okay,
yeah.
So again, most men or women, okay, or teenage adults, by the time they're 21, a sauna is not even on their list at all. Okay, it's just not. So unless there's like, oh, it'll get rid of my pimples, or unless it'll get rid of, something visual, most people won't use the sauna for really what its true ability is to remove the toxicity out of you. Not just the pimples, not just to push out the pores, all the garbage that lives in there, but it's actually to get out the garbage that we've accumulated. So I do this, that's why I do in the sauna once a week, and I always try to film it, do something different. Nick was here, and I was going to do something on how to actually do the protocol on removal of hair mites, people that are losing their hair. And we'll get to that one another time, but these are all really important no matter what. This guy's a young guy. I would love to see millions of people his age that instead of, by the time you get my age, you got to backpedal just to get to the clarity of this guy's age right now. And if he was smarter, that group was smart enough, then they would start to figure out how to take care of themselves instead of the 10,000 commercials a year that is bamboozling everybody about you need this and you need that. And I don't care if it's perfumes, I don't care if it's this new haircut or this new color that you put in your hair to dye yourself, this new suit, tie, car, house, cat, dog, wife, girlfriend. I need some augmentation now. I need this and I need that. We've become a pretty needy society on the visuality of ourselves. So, you will, I guarantee you, lose age just by sweating. I guarantee you, okay? But that's not the number one reason why you're doing it. Number one reason, remember, is to gain back your vitality, okay? Vitality comes when your body is got a certain resonant value or a certain frequency, and it's not found in AM. Okay, that's dysfunctional. If you just looked at the mind how it is, it's not found in FM. That's confusional. It's got too many things going, too many stations. But it's found in shortwave. And shortwave is basically like another energy that you can look into the other energies and not judge them, but go into those energies and actually see what not only you need, but everybody else needs at those energies. So really doing the sauna, what it does is it gives you more clarity. That's the big picture. See, when you get more clarity, you find out that your decisions are not based on emotions, based on not only logic or intellect, but they're based on intelligence, which is a combination of many parts of yourself. So, I like younger people just because, they're stepping forward and volunteering already right now. And, he did it because of health reasons, but now all of a sudden you found something. If not, you'd go back to doing what you did if you found out what you're doing new is worse than what you were doing.
Of course.
Okay, so why didn't you?
Why didn't I go back?
Yeah, why didn't you go back? Remember, it's a part of this truth, because if not, he's not a dummy. Okay? Yeah, he wants to get asthma again. Yeah, he wants to go ahead and get pimples and all the different types of whatever, intestinal problems, just whatever, okay? Dreams at night because of eating death chemicals. Stop eating the death chemicals, and how about you'll sleep much better? Because why?
Yeah.
you don't have to process a bunch of death that's in the food, and that's the meat.
Yeah, just keeps getting better. And really, actually, my first motive, I didn't think when I let go of eating animals, you know, I didn't think I'm gonna heal my asthma. It just came from that, but there was an inherent
intuitive
part of me that wanted change, was seeking that, and it just, you know, I took my health in my own hands, and really what it comes down to is questioning. Because,
yeah, exactly.
You know, questioning what I've been told my whole life and being perpetrated by, you know, society, parents just doing what they were told as well. So as soon as I was able to do that and the veil was lifted, I started questioning everything, you know, as much as I possibly could. Societal things, you know, things that I believed or inherently were told in school and
program.
Everything,
Now, to unprogram yourself is not an easy thing, because that means you have to sort of give yourself a little seclusion, or find a couple of people that also see what you see, has some validity to it, or values are similar. So what happened to me was I only had one other friend. His name was Mark Daniels, and we've gone through massive change from when we were eating 2 pounds of meat a day, when we were both bullies, manipulators, dominators, left side brain dominant beings. And 35 years of knowing Mark, you do need a companion to be able to actually just sort of compare. Find somebody that's actually of your layer and go through this metamorphosis. It is a very beautiful emergence of another self that you couldn't even imagine. When you can finally see something that makes sense, and now you have some form of purpose, some form. Okay, and the purpose you had before was what? The caterpillar? Or would you rather be the butterfly? Remember, what does a caterpillar do? This is the metamorphosis of the ancients, of what I call today is the time of the metamorphosis of consciousness. A caterpillar does nothing but destruct. It eats everything in its way. Why? It's because that's what it does. The caterpillar does not fly. It's bound to the ground, to gravity. Its consciousness is basically just feed. It doesn't even replicate at these layers, remember? It's a caterpillar. It's only in the primal stage of itself, just like we've been. And then the caterpillar, of course, it doesn't even know why it does what it does, remember? It's not that intelligent. It's programmed. And what it does is it cocoons itself and liquefies its DNA, liquefies itself. Now that's surrendering. And then, of course, creation occurs and a miracle is born, and the caterpillar rebuilds itself to be a completely different entity that eats, flies, and does everything. It's an ultralight. Okay? So you can see this is the metamorphosis that we're going through. The younger generation are the most likely to wake up their minds to a very balanced mind, left and right side of the mind becoming one. That's the big picture. We go into this in different lectures, but the basis of this is you have a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere, and what you're really trying to do is be able to connect the hemispheres somewhat so you can get a better picture of what's going on, instead of just a left wing or a left-sided or a right wing or a right-sided view or point of view. So how could you make really decisions unless, first of all, you stop eating your meat like Nick did? He's just telling you. He's a young guy. He's not even poisoned yet. Okay? He is, but he's not poisoned like a 40-year-old or a 60-year-old. Shoot, I've had, like I said, 1,000, not McDonald's hamburgers. I've been to McDonald's 1,000 times, which means I had fries, Cokes, Mountain Dews. Oh, yes, and also the shake at the very end. And maybe even a dessert, one of those fake chemicalized ones, full of MSG and fake sugars. And or if they're not fake sugars, well, they're loaded full of sugar. So, you know, and that's one fast food restaurant, or, well, take the S out of the fast food and you get fat food. As you can see, everybody right now that's eating a lot of fast food, they're pretty fat. They're pretty clogged, you know. So why don't you? Do you eat at fast food restaurants at all? Do you eat out much?
Actually, no. It's actually, as soon as I learn about really what's in our food, or pseudo food that we've been fed,
exactly,
I pretty much stopped going out at restaurants. Whenever family went out, I would either make my own dressing and bring, you know, just order some organic leafy greens or try to do something like that. Or I really just started going anywhere and just really preparing my own food because I was taking full responsibility for this body and
bring it
taking
with
care
you.
of it.
That's what I did for many years. Yeah.
Yeah, just do that because that way I truly know what's going in. Even at a restaurant, you know, you don't see what's being put in, and you don't know who's doing it.
And what happens is if you don't want to go because you don't want to poison yourself, then basically you're being unsocial. So, you know, for me right now, to tell you the truth, my best meals are mine that I make myself. And I eat one meal a day. And let me tell you, it's the best thing I've done because it gives me clarity all day long. I get fed a variety of liquids, and here's my liquid right here. This is full of chia seeds, blue-green algae, minerals, silica, and I have some MSM in this one too. Okay, so a variety of liquids that I put inside my body, and I constantly chip at detoxification. I constantly chip at rejuvenation. And that means you've got to exercise. A lot of vegans and vegetarians, like I said, I'm not either or. I just don't have blood in my diet. Okay, and I do eat some fertile eggs. I grow my own. There's no harm done. The chickens lay eggs every day. Okay, vegans have a morality issue a little bit about causing harm. I'm not causing the chicken harm at all. In fact, the chicken gives an egg a day whether I take it or not. And every so many months, we go ahead and actually have mom go ahead and have some babies. And I'm eating chicken eggs, not life forms. The chicken is just a blob of energy for 6 days. And on the 7th day, it gets a heart. And I will not eat them then. Remember, I don't have blood in my diet. I don't want to cause harm to the 5 conscious level. I do eat bee pollen, too. I get that from somebody I know who collects bee pollen and does honey. They don't take it all. They take a small amount. I use that because it activates my intelligence. And my intelligence then can go ahead and bring in things possibly into this world to make sure that these species don't get eradicated, only because I start to see the bigger picture. Bee pollen, different types of foods, okay, blue-green algae, minerals, and all these things. What they do is they're all energies. They all activate either your body or your mind. And so if you eat sugar, it activates your body. It doesn't activate your mind. It perverts it. And if you eat carbohydrates during the day, you'll find out that it's just a pure sedative. So, you know, really, the idea is, you know, you finding your own path. And all you can do is, you should look up. I call this guy inspiration, in spirit. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He's being guided. He's following the rules. Why are you here too? You can do anything you want to and go get a job or go to school, or you could do whatever. Why are you here? Why do you want to sort of learn about detoxification, ideas about, you know, not only just running a retreat center or detox center, but really seeing what the gratification is when people massively change when they do these protocols. Massively.
Yeah.
I mean, why did you want to do this? Is this sort of like school for you a little bit?
Well, I feel that, I mean, in a way like you share, is that we all have different things to share for each other and pieces that I might not have seen yet, and you're making me aware of them. And
well, and vice versa. You're from another generation that I can't see what you guys see. I can only show you what you, I think, need to see. And I don't really think, I know you need to see. Like I've talked to you many times about seeing different documentaries, different films, not to watch the film or anything by the judgment of who the presenter is or the way, you know, the way someone's tune is, but just take as the information and look at some of these things as I'm trying to guide you to show you that some of these pieces here that I feel, that I know that are actually very advancing, that every person your age should be able to see, like for instance, because otherwise we're just talking in circles. I've told you to watch the 3 different lectures that Mark Passio, P-A-S-S-I-O, does on natural law. And in order for any of us to be able to understand some of the real laws that can't be broken, why? Because you can't break gravity. It doesn't matter. Jump off a roof, you don't even know what it is. All you're going to do is feel it. You won't understand it. MC squared, all that stuff, Einstein, no one understands gravity. It's unknowable. Okay? Yeah. These are natural laws, and that's just one of them out of maybe 20. But watch all 3 parts of that, okay? Just go Mark Passio YouTube and just watch. It's the first thing for you to watch. I share with people to watch that. Why? Is because the information we want to share with you. You must understand this recorded information that this person has gone a lot of work through. It's all free. How much does it cost? How much do you have to pay? Just pay attention, okay? Watch it the first time, and they're 2-hour segments. And don't think you're going to watch it for 20 minutes and make a decision. Watch the first segment, watch the second segment, watch the third segment, and then go ahead and watch it again and take notes this next time. And if something's interesting to you, rewind it. Listen to it again, because it's an epiphany for your mind to connect the dots. And this guy, let me tell you, connects a lot of my dots. And if they connect my dots, maybe they may not connect yours because you don't have the experiences that we call wisdom behind when you're 55 years old versus 20. It's not that he's smarter than me. His experiential wisdom has lower experiences. He's only 20. But the experiences he's having right now at 20, maybe he didn't have to go through the 30 years of stupid experiences I had to go through and unwind. So
yeah,
we're not saying one side's better than the other. See, as he said, I'm sharing with him information that he couldn't see if he wanted to, and other people that see it too. And I think it's important for your group, your layer of really spiritual, I call them interdimensional spiritual warriors, because they have a purpose here, and they feel they do.
Yeah.
Okay, and
that's exactly it.
Yeah, you have a purpose, and so once you see, now let Nick here talk about this, but I just wanted to make sure the circle here. Once you understand some simple principles about our world, I don't care if it's religions, governments, the money system, okay, the food system, the water system, the vaccination system, the chemtrail system, the HARP system, the CERN system, all these systems, okay? It's good for you to be able to see, that's right, can't do much about it except negotiate it, tell your friends. Why? Is because the revealing is real. You're supposed to go ahead and actually tell your friends the best kept secrets in town. And part of it may be health. Some of it may be information. I call that wealth. Money's a side effect of wealth, just so you know. You get information, you get money. And what's money? It's just energy. How you use it, that's another deal. Okay? And happiness is what everybody wants. The 3 golden words: health, wealth, and happiness. Everybody wants these 3 things. And if we have them, we start to grow. We start to share. Just like I've told you, if somebody could give you, let's say, $10,000 a month tax-free, what would you do with your world? And this is the rest of your life now. And it goes up every year. Why? For so-called the economy raise, 5% a year for just inflation. What are you going to do now? Are you going to do something that you don't want to do? Or are you going to maybe experiment a little? You're going to have some extra money like I did to be able to actually not just read things and truthfully believe them, but to be able to really dig in deep and see if I can actually not only prove them true, but see if we can advance them or apply them in different directions, or see if we can get this out into the system, okay? What would you do? Remember, you don't have to work anymore. You don't have to work, meaning that you don't have to do things you don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, the big picture is to be totally dedicated, and each action has behind it the intention of evolving myself, my being, and with that I feel that is an ability to better be able to serve others, our brothers and sisters on this planet.
Okay, well, that's one layer. Remember, I try to teach these guys here, okay? You want to be smart on this planet and have at least a dozen worlds that are separate to the energy field that he just talked about. He's got his own personal needs, and that's his energy field. It doesn't involve anybody else but him. It's what it is. He needs this energy field. It's called the ego. You don't want it to run your life. But then again, if you don't have it, because a lot of people say, I don't want it. No, guys. It's doing you a favor. Just want to make sure you put it in its place. And call upon it when needed. And other energy centers, okay, that are needed to be activated to be able to really feel that the decisions that you're making have some type of worldly view. And there are enough documentaries, enough information, just the information on Earther Academy, just for you to semi-clean up yourself. Guys, I do this myself. It's all a work in progress. Okay, as you know, I don't have a bunch of people helping me do this. I just do it all myself. I edit, I film. We're filming right now, and you know, we're really trying to go ahead and figure out, you know, how's the best way to be able to share with people that you have the power of your health at your fingertips if you want it. It does take work. It does take not change, just upgrading. Okay, Nick upgraded from a dead carcass fuel, and that makes you disconnected from nature, is because what you're doing is you're not eating the antenna, which are the plants. The plants are the antenna to the nature world, or the spirit world, or what the Egyptians called Naturi, which means the nature spirit world. So eating flesh, what it does is disconnect you to seeing a lot of connections. So trying to make sure that if you can, remember 180 days, non-flesh. You don't want to eat eggs, don't. Okay? But if you do, you know, you're going to get bee pollen, you're going to go ahead and get eggs or cheese. Make sure where they come from. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is buy anything from any place that's caused harm to the animals. That's why I do all local stuff. I know the people that I get my raw cheese from. Actually, I make my own. I know I have my own goat, okay? If I want milk, she's got a baby right now. I go out there and get some. It's not that I only use this as a medium to add my bacteria to it, because your gut wall bacteria, remember, are the healthiest thing and the easiest thing for you to upgrade. You don't even have to change your diet. You can still keep eating meat. So, you know, there's all these different protocols. And Nick, as far as your future, okay, I would say you're in school right now. And school just means that you're curious and you want to learn.
Yeah,
okay.
Indeed.
Because when you're 40 years old, a lot of times you're not curious anymore because you're overwhelmed with responsibility. Overwhelmed. So don't you think this would be good for your level of I'm talking level, not smart, dumb, or anything else, just your level of age group from like 18 to 25, to really dig deep into some of these documentaries, like where your food comes from, okay?
Yeah.
How money actually works, the economics of everything, just so you can see the picture. Like I said, you're trying to get worldly. And has this hurt your mind at all, or has it made you feel more comfortable to be able to see some of the insanity?
I felt personally a certain level of freedom within knowing, you know, the truth behind things that are going on in this world. And it can be challenging just to really take it all in, but deep down, I just knew I was seeking ultimately just truth, you know, and as the saying goes, the truth shall set you free.
And or make you very depressed.
Yeah, and some people can, you know, obsess on certain things and take it in a certain way, but I feel it's our job is to transmute that and see these challenges, see these quote unquote problems that a lot of people might see negatively as simply a challenge for us to be able to, you know, evolve to the next layer, and it's, you know, without those challenges, this experience would be really pointless, I feel. So,
yeah, no, I tell people, guys, quit looking at this place as Prison Planet or Satan's Planet or Planet Hell. Look at this place as the best school in this sector of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Look and see that what you're experiencing now, you need dark hats, you need Hitlers, you need green spans and Gates and all these different players that actually can let the chains of humanity go anytime they want to by revealing the truths, the lies, the secrets, and deceptions of the last millennia. Just in the last 100 years, we've had every device that would help us become sovereign, which means that, well, that means that you're doing whatever you're doing because you want to, just like I was just telling Nick a minute ago, instead because you got to. Aren't you ready to really, remember, you want to see this truth? If not, you're under the spell. GMOs, electrical magnetic fields, super Wi-Fi, heavy metal poisoning, mercury in your mouth, okay, taking showers every day without a shower filter. It's the only reason why we opened up Earth Shift. We don't make any money doing that. We sell wholesale, free shipping, okay? Is because it's the only way I found out, family lets me do this, the only way I found out is that if you don't have all the products and things that people can upgrade their life easily, they just won't do it. Oh, well, which one do I get? I bought it and it didn't work. Well, most of the shower dechlorinators or filters don't work. Which one do you want to get? And you want to get it at wholesale. And if you buy a small amount, you want to get it shipped free, and it's back door in 2 days. So, you know, stepping up your lifestyle is essential if you want to really stay healthy in this world. Okay, so this is where he's going to be sort of cursed to have some of this information rub off of him, and then what he's going to do, he's going to get my curse, which he's going to have to start sharing. He sees now that a lot of the information that he's seeing is the best thing since sliced bread. Because if you could take care of your health and learn how to use this machine effectively and optimally and advance your awareness at the same time, then Stanford doesn't send, you know, they don't have that course. Okay, making equanimity with both different hemispheres of the brain, doesn't that make logical sense? Doesn't it make sense to be able to see that the mental schism of the planet is realistically either you're left-sided or left brain dominant or right brain dominant? Wouldn't you think that your only sanity would be not to be able to fight the other side of the fence, but to be able to actually coalesce the left and right side of the hemispheres, which again is the metamorphosis of the caterpillar, cocooning itself, dissolving its prior destructive self, and resurrecting itself. Why? Because it can. So what are you waiting for? Why? Why are you waiting to get sick? You're waiting to go to the doctor so because you're what, depressed and you can't sleep at night? And what are they going to do? They're going to give you the magic pill. And the magic pill is well, magical. You'll see. You'll take this under the presence of the authorities telling you that this is what you need. And realistically, they have what's called an RX, which is a prescription, which means just recipe. And they don't know, okay? These are all psychotropic, okay, serotonin inhibitors.
Yeah.
Want to mess up your brain? Go ahead. How about you got heavy metal poisoning? How about you need to change your diet? Cut out your toxicity. Learn all this stuff on Earther Academy. Watch my videos. Got 400 on YouTube. Okay, Earther Academy shows you the protocols. Part 2 here now is going to go ahead and he's soft now. We've been in here, about 43 minutes. And I've probably lost 5 pounds. And now he's sweating good. Okay, look at the river now he's got going. Okay, not as much as my Rio Grande. But in time, your body, remember, will let out the poison. I want to show you, just before we sign off here and start part 2, I want to show you my towel. I washed my skin this morning. And this is what the alcohol, and this is after the alcohol solutions that I show everybody how to rake. The alcohol you don't use by itself because it's poisonous. This is what came off of my skin after a shower. And this is me rubbing aggressively. And this is the garbage that came out of my pores on both sides. Yes, this stains my towels, and once in a while I gotta bleach them just to get this stuff out, whatever it is. This is after a shower. Okay, you can see the top part here too. That's where I did my back. I put the edges here and I rub it back and forth with the hard part of the towel. And you can see, look at the muck. So, you know, learning the skin cleaning protocols, you don't do them, you're just being foolish. I was at the beach yesterday. And I saw all these young people, older people, young children too, and they had the worst skin I've ever seen. And I'm not there to judge. I'm just there to go ahead and say, guys, it's so easy to terrain modify your skin and wipe everything off that lives on your skin and get some of the toxicity and change your diet, just like you did. Change your diet, asthma goes away. How about you change your diet and your depression goes away? How about you change your diet and maybe your change to the refrigerator goes away? Okay, instead of eating every 2 hours, because yeast, mold, fungus, and candida are voracious eaters. Okay, that's sugar, all sugar, doesn't matter what kind it is. So, anyways, that's part 1 ending, and part 2, what we're going to do is, you've never had this gua sha done like this, right?
I have, actually. I've done it several times.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what he's telling me is I actually can go ahead and start out of the beginner stage, and we're going to go intermediate with Nick today. So I'm going to show some techniques to, because I told him before, I'm not embarrassing you, but I don't like that little bit of chubbiness you got right there. And that's easy to get rid of because that's toxicity. Okay? It's toxicity. I got rid of mine. And how do you get it off? It's simple. You got to scrape it off, though. You got to use dissolving agents, which we'll show you.
Well, it can be different reasons.
Well, usually it's toxicity, and or eating sugar, and that's toxicity, and or being dehydrated, and that's toxicity, and or electrical magnetic fields, that's toxicity. So it's a lot of pieces. Emotional.
Yeah, because a lot of people can be eating, you know, all different kinds of diets, and they're going to be, you know, have almost no body fat, and
well, the idea is you have to define what body fat is. Body fat is a live creature. It's a live creature. Okay, it's not you. That's why when I pinch it, it hurts. It's not you. If you pinch skin, it doesn't hurt at all. It's just who you are. There's nothing in there. But if there's critters that live underneath it and crystals in the lymph, then that hurts because it's intertwined, these creatures in our nervous system. So, yeast, mold, fungus, and candida, you want to keep down to a bare minimum until you get down to basically you owning your body again. And he owns his body. I told him just in 6 weeks, man, I can make him this guy lean and ripped. You don't even have to change his diet except for cut down the sugar, increase the fat. And maybe do 2 minutes worth of exercise a day running around my front yard just to stimulate your lymph system. And do the sweat box if you can every couple of days because you're going to unload garbage, yeast, mold, fungus, and candida. Now you can see I'm pretty purple, okay? He's got purple too. Okay, most people I get in here that are 40, they're yellow as yellow. He's got a little yellow in there, but when we work on him, you're going to see he's going to turn super purple easy because his stuff is just like very superficial. A lot of people that come in here, see, he doesn't have a wrinkle on his body. The wrinkles are scleroderma, and that's hardening of the tissues. Okay, so just to scrape through that, that's not smart until you you use the dissolvents and soften everything up. So today what we're going to do, like I said with Nick, is we're going to do an intermediate scraping. And I'm going to use a variety of different tools. And you can see he's 20. Watch the stuff that we get out of him. You'll say, oh my God. Oh my God. Why? It's because he looks pretty darn clean to me. And that's what's in his skin, hiding in his pores. Remember, candida, yeast, mold, and fungus live anywhere they can. Anywhere. Anywhere. And you're going to see, like pinching your nose, what is that white stuff? Yeast, mold, fungus, candida. And a variety of maybe other things. Who knows? Okay? So this is what it's going to do. It's sort of like going to do cutting of a grass field that we want to get rid of the grass and we want to rototill everything, put some new amendments in the soil, and then we want to reseed, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to clean up the skin, and like I said, he's easy. His skin turgor, his healthy skin has stretch to it. It's full of silica. If he was 50 years old, I don't care if he's been doing gua sha for a while. He's never done mine. Mine's very complete, different. And I'd still start him out as beginning because their skin would be wrinkly, and or I could see it's basically weak because it's lacking silica. So no matter what, the idea is that when you start these techniques and protocols, don't give up. It takes weeks to keep doing them and keep doing them, and after about a month, I'll guarantee you, just like doing the spin bike for a month or yoga for a month, after a month you'll actually like it. After changing your diet, after a month, you'll like it. Did you have a lot of problems getting off meat?
No.
It was easy for you?
Super easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No nightmares, no complaining?
No, I was totally rejoiced, actually. Part of me was just so happy. I mean, and I was just thinking a big part of that is just, well, we were talking about taking full responsibility, but really knowing who you are, you know. Do you know who you are? And this all leads to that, I feel.
And are your morals, the idea is, look, do you need to kill to stay alive? Why do you have to take a sentient being that has a consciousness? It's a lower layer consciousness. We have intelligence. They just have instinct. Okay? They have some logic, but they don't have intelligence. They can't weigh and measure. We can. The last thing we need to do is prey upon another system that has less intelligence than us. What do you think? That's cool? And once you stop doing this, the meat department is not the meat department anymore. I call it the morgue. And I see all the ghouls, because I used to be one of them, not bagging on people. I see the ghouls like I used to, looking at my T-bone steak, looking to see which one's got more blood. And in fact, a lot of that blood is a dye to make it actually look better to the people that nothing more than like the blood. And the blood is only liked is because of the parasites you have inside you. So once you do this plant-based diet, you relieve yourself of a lot of these parasites, and the food that you used to eat just doesn't make sense. Doesn't. Can you eat a piece of meat if you wanted to now? Forget the anything else issue. It just looks like a piece of poop.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I eat that? That's sort of sick. Why would I eat this ground up animal? I love animals.
Yeah.
I love my dog. I love my cat. I love my birds. I love the ocean mammals and whales and fish. Okay, they're sort of here to keep us amused. How about that? You're supposed to kill the zoo? If there's an alien system here that's watching us, you'd see. And yet they're pretty pissed. Why? It's because we've been destroying the zoo while they were gone. Like taking spray cans and spraying it all over the cities and towns and destroying what we've done to each city and each town, just like what the agent says to Morpheus. We've been studying your species for some time. You call yourselves mammals, but in fact, we see a completely different story. You go from town to town, from city to city, and you eat up all the resources, destroy everything. You fight with each other and nothing more than you let that place go and try to survive, and you do the same to the next place, and you keep on doing that just like a cancer or a virus in a body. And what did they say? We're here to cure this dysfunction, this disease. So cure your own disease. Change yourself. If you think this is logical, well, that's good. But if you don't, you're being illogical. That's what it is. You're just being foolish. Okay? If you think that you need meat, then you go raise that animal and you feed it when it gets sick. And you take a knife, just like they do in the Jewish Kosher Society, which of course is humane, really. Study how that's done. Okay? The other side of the fence uses an electrical stim gun or some type of a shot to the head to be able to make it so it can't feel the death cycle. Well, the kosher is slitting the throat while it's alive, and of course it bleeds to death as everybody around it watches it and then watches everybody watching it. Okay? What humane type of death can we do? You think death is humane? Any way you slice it? What's the difference? Okay, we should be smart enough, and as we connect left and right side of the hemispheres, we start to see the emotional body on this side of the fence and the take action mind coalesce together, and you've got yourself action with correct emotions instead of emotions running by itself or action running by itself. So anyways, I could talk about a lot of different areas with this brain explanation and dysfunction. Okay, we'll do that in other lectures, but this is one of the best things you can get out of doing any of these protocols. It's just getting clarity back to your mind. That's all. Just if you can get that. Forget the six-pack. Forget losing 20 pounds. Okay? Forget about losing 20 years of age and BS and emotions, but you'll have a clear head. And that is priceless. You can't take a pill for that. You ever seen one advertised on television? Take this pill and you'll have a clean mind. We'll clean it up. Clean your body up then. Body's your church. These are your temples. The left and right side of the hemisphere that control this is the mind temples and this is the body temple. And they're very complex organisms. Okay, and they do need nurturing and guidance. Okay, they do run on their own, but then again, you're in power of the commands of what you eat, say, think, do. So be observant of your actions. We go over this in Earther Academy again on parasites. Do you think you're hungry? Or how about they are? Why are you feeling this way? Is it because of you? Or is there something feeding off this doubt, uncertainty, and negativity that you have now and you shouldn't have with me? Just talk with you. Why are you bringing this negativity to my energy field now? When I, of course, just said hello, how are you doing? Okay, this is emotional dysfunction.
Yeah.
And when you see this in people, which is very easy, you'll notice it in yourself. Very easy too, because you won't even notice this. You may notice this on other people, but remember, no fighting anymore. Just negotiate. Fighting means you're trying to take the emotional side of the mind and the duty side, or the side of action, the side that worries about itself, and trying to take sides. Remember, play the game. Dissolve them together as one, and Eating meat will never let you there. Wearing sunglasses will never let you there. Mercury fillings will never let you there. Eating GMOs, as far as I'm concerned, will never let you there. Okay? Putting a cell phone up to your head, I'm sorry guys, that's not smart. It's not a cell phone, it's a microwave transmitter. Wake up. Okay? You're frying out your supercomputer. You want to go ahead and actually take your left and right side of your brains and make them one? Well, if you knew that that was the golden rule of your incarnation on this planet, then you'd be working on that. This guy plays the piano like a fool, and I'm talking about a silly fool because he plays good. Okay, he plays not only the music, but he plays with emotions. Okay, he plays with a multi-dimensional mind. Okay, and we went over today on how to test software and hardware of our bodies. Our connection, which side's our gunner eye, which side's our forward eye, which side do we use as our dominant eye, what hand do we write with, and what does that mean? What bloodline do you have? O positive, A, B, negative? What is it? You should know. So,
know thyself.
To know thyself. And wouldn't it be nice to know the computer that you have? What kind of computer do you have? You just bought it at the Mac store. I don't know. Well, remember, you own this machine. You dream it. I'm dreaming my hand right now to do this. And once you understand that, you'll say, hey, I got one of those too. Damn, this is cool. Bet it is.
So much fun.
When you can understand this miracle.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Which pill do you choose, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that's a huge part, you know? It's like, where are you at in that spectrum? Do you choose to, you know, just keep believing what you've been taught and told your whole life, or are you going to choose the courageous path, which is to really choose truth and wake up and be willing to let go of everything you've ever been told? And obviously truth is going to threaten every paradigm that you've held for yourself.
And your parents did.
Yes.
And their parents did.
But ultimately freedom comes from that, you know, is choosing that and choosing to take full responsibility for your life and really seek meaning, you know, in this life that we have, and not just react your whole life based on what you've been told and what you've been programmed to do your whole life.
Well, you know, like I said, he's not a 21-year-old, really. He's thinking like a 50-year-old that's backpedaled a lot and rewound their world to be able to actually have still a poisoned body, but they've rewound their mind, and now they got to work on their poisoned body. At least this guy's body, as their age group, hasn't poisoned themselves yet, as long as they can wake up. But this is the time that you do poison yourself with drugs, synthetics, hormones, antibiotics, fake boobies, Botox, whatever the case may be, dry cleaning, lead in your lipstick, mascara with diesel, hair dye, fingernails, and phthalate-covered plasticizer tampons, okay? Some of the few booby traps. So, you know, learning all these very smart, essential booby traps, and then negotiating them. No one's saying that you can't do this or that, just optimize it. Don't care if it's smoking cigarettes, get away from the chemical ones. Light up with the hemp line, so you're not sucking up petroleum. Make sure it's organic only, and make sure that your papers that you're smoking are non-bleached. Okay, so that's one little piece. You're drinking alcohol, and make your own. Buy vodka, put the minerals in, and you got yourself now more of a tonic instead of a dry poison. All those wines are all full of sulfates. Okay, this is one of the big reasons, again, why people have succumbed to being obese, succumbed to being lazy. Okay, the microbes that live inside our bodies, they make us lazy. They take our oxygen from us. They take our energy from us. And if you keep feeding them over and over again, then you can see, take your clothes off in the mirror and look at yourself and see if you're happy with the colonizing load of yeast, mold, and fungus that you have hanging underneath your skin. That's what body fat is. And remember, their superior fuel is what? Sugar. Any sugar. Processed foods. Remember, it's the dryness of your body. It's the resonant value. It's heavy metals. But they need fuel of sugar. You got cancer, the first thing the person that doesn't know that much, let me tell you can tell by the people that are actually the oncologist chiefs. And they got a belly this big. So how could they know anything about it when their body's full of parasites? But they'll always tell you, you need to cut down on your sugar if you go to somebody that's really smart. Because these cancers, these parasites, that's all it is. Cancer's a parasite. My opinion. Why? It's because that's what it came down to. All it is, yeast, mold, fungus, candida, with a variety of different visual type creatures. And you can terrain modify them and move them out of you. So you're either smart because you change yourself, you're either sick because you change yourself, either that or you want to become more human, more connected, you want to get more brilliant, more illumination, you just want to have the connection between the consciousness to the next layer. And that's, you know, your journey. Pick and choose, but make a move. It's up to you. You don't make a move, it's only because you're complacent, and most likely you got too much bloody fluoride in your water. Okay? That's right. And or, like I said, do the experiment. Take your clothes off and look in the mirror, and if you're happy with yourself, then keep where you're at. And if you're not, that's just the physical part of yourself. But it does rule this physical world. Your body is a temple, and you got to take care of it. You got to learn from others that do take care of it. And I wouldn't listen to too many people that don't have the call to action to themselves, because you can see people that actually talk health and they're 200 pounds overweight. Okay? That's not health. That's, to me, psychobabble a lot of times. Why? It's because they're good talkers. So, and that's not everybody. Okay? Some people are actually spontaneously enlightened and they can't change their diets and so forth because their yeast, mold, and fungus and candida are very parasitically powerful mind controllers. But their consciousness is actually seeing a different tune only because they've had some type of spontaneous connection. However they got it, doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. Part 2. Whew, I'm getting work.